Okay, so when we talked for the first time with you, I don't know if you remember, it was 4 years ago after your first show in Ostruda. How do you remember it?
Do you remember that show or not really?
The show?
Yeah.
From the 4 years back when you came to Poland for the first time?
I remember every show. I remember performing there. I remember I was wearing a bandana. I took it off and I was swinging it on stage. I remember there was a dub tent. I think Mad Professor was playing there or something.
True.
I went in there. I realized that Polish people really like dub, and it was in a city, very, very close to a city, the festival.
Yes.
So yeah, I remember my first time here. It was really nice.
And now when I saw your show today, it was perfectly played, really, and beautiful as well. But I have to ask, is there any space for improvisation, or how much space is there for improvisation, and how much had to be carefully planned before in your show?
Yeah, I mean, we play a lot of shows, so we're in a rhythm right now. We've been touring since July 1st. But stuff always happens and you go with it. Like, I like that, you know, we know where the songs are coming, but sometimes we may exit it different, or, you know, skip a verse or play some dub long or whatever. But there's always freedom to just do something if you feel like it.
Last time you played with Da Bacon as a backing band, and now you came with your own band. How many more possibilities it gives you that you have your own band?
It's infinite, non-stop. It's way different. I mean, I had my band in 2011, but at the time, you know, festivals weren't gonna bring. I was just coming up, so nobody knew who I was. I was barely getting on these shows, more so than to be making demands. But I just wanted to do some work so that I could get the opportunity to come back with my band and play. And since 2012, it's been like this. And the more we play now, the more we get a groove, the more we can keep improving until we can reach, you know, to a much higher level.
Because you told in one interview that your best work is your newest album. Yeah. So how do you think, is it possible to raise a band even higher?
Yeah, of course, because every time you hear something, every time I make an album, I hear stuff that I could improve on. But there's always room to raise the bar higher. Like, I mean, you know, there's albums like Exodus and Kaya, and Survival by Bob Marley. There's albums like Africa Must Be Free by Hugh. There's Red, Black Uhuru. There's all those Damian Marley, Jamrock. Those are all albums that prove that, you know, you can keep making the bar raise. So always try to improve when I go back.
The Ancient Future was produced by Philip Winter James, right? And most of your, not all, but a lot of your previous work was done with Don Corleone, right? How can you compare those two producers, and what's new brought Philip Winter James to your work? What is the new influences, new things that James brought?
Well,
to
I
your
mean,
work?
as producers, they have different approach. Don obviously is like super successful, one of the most successful producers. He's a Billboard producer. His accolades speak for himself. He kind of molded me into an artist at the start, meaning, you know, I could always write songs and stuff, but he taught me kind of how to make it more complete songs and delivery and cadences and patterns and stuff. So I learned a lot from Don. With Winter now, he has a different approach, and the thing is, like, he wants me to focus on different things, you know. So it's like if you have a football team and one coach leaves, another one comes in, he's like, okay, we want to attack around the wing this time and not through this, you know what I mean? So on this album, he wanted me to DJ more, just like write lyrics and DJ lyrics. So that's why on this album, I think there's more me, more hardcore DJing than more singing. Like on ATRF, it'd be like "Come My Way" and more singing type of songs. So it's a different approach, but both of them are two great producers.
Yeah, but the music on the album, this is a very diverse album. You can hear like the 70s, 80s, this ska, lovers rock, early dancehall, a lot of stuff. That was the concept to make the diverse album.
Yeah, that was the concept. I had the idea to how it all came about. Like I wanted to kind of go through different eras in Jamaica music. Basically, the album was. At first concept was me saying I want to just go through all the music that made me want to do music and influence me. And then when I told Winter the idea, he liked it, and then he was like, yo, we could do timepieces, we could do like a ska, and we could do like Love Gone Cold is like Bahamas, Compass Point type of reggae, Grace Jones type of style. We could do that, and we could do like the early dancehall, as you say, and everything. So we just went through a lot of different music.
You also put a lot of collaborations on your albums.
You think so?
Yeah, I think it's quite a lot, yeah. Well, do you feel that your work is a part of like a bigger movement that you want to include it in your albums, or?
Yeah, I mean, just the time. Like if you see, there's no features from any international artist on it. There's no features from anybody outside of like this era of musicians, you know, and I have respect for all generations, but it is really a time capsule, and I wanted it maybe 20 years from now somebody looks back on 2015 and open the album and see Protoje, Chronix, Kabaka, Pyramid, Jesse Royal, Mortimer, Savannah, and who knows 20 years from now what all those people will accomplish in music, you know. So yeah.
And according to people with whom you do the music, could you tell us something more about Savannah?
Savannah, yeah. Savannah she just came off tour. She was on tour with us. You know, we had a week and a half off. She to go home to work on her second single, because Winter is also off on break tour. He tours with Damian Marley. And so we had to kind of make them link up and work on the second single, which is called, I won't tell you what it's called yet, but she's there working on her second single and working on some more music. Brilliant artist, has a lot of room to improve too, because you know she only has one single or one song recorded. So you know, a friend turned me on to her music and I was very impressed with her.
Okay.
Everything's fine?
Yeah. It's really interesting.
Now?
Yeah, we are
streaming now, or is this or?
Yeah, we are still streaming.
Oh.
Yeah, so is it?
So what collaboration is your favorite on the album? You said there are lots of collaborations.
Yeah, well, I like the Savannah songs.
Which one? Both of them?
Both of them, yeah. I like the mix of the male and female vocals in music.
To hold your mic.
Like
is this for show? Does this work?
Yeah, you can sing if you want.
You can sing and try, yeah. But yeah. I think you've done enough work singing today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but you told in one interview that your own favorite song is "Who Can You Call?" It's not so often that artists choose their own song and they say that it's their favorite one.
No, well, I mean it's different because it was my favorite song. That song meant the most to me when I was writing the album. Know what I mean? The song I listened to the most is Criminal.
Ah, okay.
You know, the song I love to perform on stage the most is Criminal. So I wouldn't have, you know, and so I wouldn't really say I have a favorite, but I have favorite for different times. You know,
Okay.
Who Can You Call is the most personal song.
You had some of your work on radio charts high, and but is it really important still to have a promotion in the radio in the era of the internet and such things like live streaming and downloading music?
Yeah, it's still important. I mean, if your song is A-listed on BBC Radio 1, then 14 million people are gonna hear it, you know? There are certain places where radio is still powerful. I don't know about radio in Europe or how many reggae people listen to music through radio in Europe. I don't know, but say for example, Love Gone Cold was playlisted on Switzerland on their main radio, so it gives you a chance to cross over from just reggae music and your immediate fans. However, like I pay a lot of attention to social media. My SoundCloud album is up there, YouTube videos, everything, because what I love about that is that you get a direct connection with people who are listening to your music. And when you get that, you'll always have your core fans, because your pop audience will come and go with the next song by whoever. But your core audience will always stay, so it's good to have that, and the internet has made that tenfold easier. Last question?
Yes.
Last, yes. Are you tired yet or not?
No, I'm good. Is that your last question?
No,
Yeah.
the last question will be just the typical one, but we have to ask because we are very curious. What are your plans for the next nearest future, and are you going to keep up the cycle of releasing the album every 2 years, or?
I'm just focusing on Ancient Future right now, and touring, getting this music out there. I believe there are lots of songs that are on it that can do good. So just to spend time working those songs, that's my focus right now.
Okay, so thank you very much. That was it. It was a pleasure to talk to you.